What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Speak from the Heart. This is episode 11 and the final episode of 2025. I just want to thank you all so much for all the support that you've given the podcast. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank you to all the athletes that have taken the time out of their days to want to give their testimony and talk about how God has worked through their athletic career and be a part of something bigger than themselves. And I just really appreciate all the support this has been given. This has been such a cool 4 months, and I can't wait to see what God has in store for the podcast in 2026. So 11 is a really special number to me. It's in my username. It's my jersey number that I wore all throughout high school, and it is my favorite number of all time, and it will always be my favorite number. But it was because of someone that wore that number before me, and it was my Uncle Drew. And I want to dedicate this episode of Speak from the Heart to him. So his name was Drew Reynolds, and he was a big part of my testimony. I remember after I posted my video about 3 months ago of my testimony, I mentioned him at the start, and that video got so much traction, and I got so many DMs from people I had no idea who they were. Some of his best friends, old teachers, old coaches of his, talking about how clever and witty and funny he was. Just so many cool stories about him. And that was so awesome to see that and hear that, because it's almost like learning about your hero. So it was cool because I really look up to him. He's my role model and everything that I wanted to be growing up. And unfortunately, he took his life in 2016 after dealing with a lot of mental health issues. And for a long time, I didn't feel like that I was good enough. I didn't really understand why he didn't stay for us, for my little brother, for my dad, who was his brother. And I started having a lot of questions that started to sit with me. A lot of frustration, guilt, anxiety started to creep in, regret. I just didn't know. I was young. I was 13. I had no idea about depression. I didn't really understand anything about mental health. And growing up, he was just the most amazing person in my life. He was like an older brother to me almost. We'd throw football outside, tackle football. He would launch little foam footballs at me and my little brother. And I remember my dad had a 72-inch, maybe even bigger flat screen TV with speakers on the side. It was really just, I don't know how much money it was, but it was a lot of money. And we'd just be throwing downstairs, and I wanted to show off my arm, so I would smoke that TV. And just those memories of us just messing around, getting in trouble. Um, but he was so cool. Just driving around in his truck. He had a massive truck with a cool lift. I remember I had to get help to get in his truck when I was younger, when he would come pick me and my brother up to go ride around or go hang out with him. And we would listen to new pop music, new rap music, and I only really listened to Christian music. I listened to 88.1 K-Love on the radio, and I just started downloading songs. And one of the songs that I downloaded was Timber by Pitbull, and it was one of the songs that he showed me. And obviously, if you've heard that song, it's not exactly kid friendly if you really listen to the lyrics. And my mom was not very happy with him. But those memories are so funny. I mean, we played Call of Duty almost every night. We played Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, just cracking jokes all night long. I mean, my stomach would hurt because of how much I laughed with him. And I didn't realize how good he was at baseball until after he passed away. And so I think that I didn't really, he was my uncle. That was the only thing that I really cared about him. He could have been a bum, he could have been the best player ever, but I loved him for who he was. But it was just awesome to hear about how good he was, how smooth he was in the field. He was an amazing defender. He played shortstop just like I do. He had a really good bat. He was really fast. We have the same build. My dad talks about how we have the same hands. And just hearing those things about him and the similarities that I have with him, it means the world to me, because that's all I wanted to be was him. And he also went to EKU. He went to Eastern Kentucky University, played baseball there. And after he passed away, something changed in me. So this is when before I started getting looks at college, but I was dead set on going to EKU or the University of Kentucky because he loved Kentucky. His Xbox username was UK Dynasty, and he loved the Cats. He loved Kentucky basketball. And I wanted to go to one of those schools even more. I wanted to go and share his legacy, to continue his legacy. I wanted to keep wearing that number 11 for him, to spread that goodness of his story and the things that he went through, especially his mental health, and really just spread the message of knowing that you are loved. Because this is what this episode is really all about, is talking about, in a sense, the mental health issue that's going on in today's world. Because it's only gotten worse. And so many people have lost loved ones because they didn't feel like they were good enough. But you are loved. You watching this video, you are loved by so many people. I just want you to realize that if you ever think about taking your life, if you've ever told yourself, no one's going to miss me, it's too late for me, no one cares if I'd be gone, no one will remember me, I'm begging you to listen to this. Please listen. I'm sure my uncle had those same exact thoughts about taking his life. That his nephews wouldn't miss him, that his brother wouldn't miss him, but they will. I promise you. 10 years later, we talk about him almost every other day. I've been home for about a month now on Christmas break, and we've talked about him almost every week, at least once, and it's been 10 years. But they will miss you. They will miss you 100%, because your life matters more than you know. So I encourage you, please keep going. Keep believing that your life has a purpose and that there is something greater out there for you that God has in store. Keep God close in everything that you go through, and continue to believe that He has a plan for your life. Please just don't give up. Just don't give up and keep going. And talking about him has been a big part of my life. I rep him everywhere I go. I wear 11 on my arm sleeve. I tried to get 11 for EKU the 2 years that I was there. I tried to get 11 at IU Southeast the 1 year that I was there. I never ended up getting the number because someone else always had it. But for this year at the University of the Cumberlands, for the very first time in my college career, I will be wearing number 11 for the Patriots. So I can't wait for this season to finally do what I wanted to do of repping his number. And I just can't wait for what the season has in store. But I visited his grave a little bit ago, and I just talked to him about, I wanted to thank him. He has been the drive for this podcast, the drive for my verse of the days. And he kept me in baseball, just that motivation to be him. And I miss him so much. Me and my family will miss him every day. He had the most impact on me at a young age, and it's almost been 10 years, like I said, and it hasn't felt like it's been 10 years. It felt like it happened not that long ago. And I realized grief doesn't really disappear. It just changes. It takes different shape, and you become at peace with it, but you also have those moments where you have grief and you have regret and you have frustration. But if there's anything that you take away from this, please just keep your family close, especially around the holidays, around Christmas, around New Year's. The New Year is about to start, 2026. So even though this is difficult to talk about, I love talking about him. I know he's in a better place, though. And that's why I have so much comfort speaking out about him, is because I know for a fact that when he was a Christian, when he went to heaven, I know with full certainty that Jesus rushed to him and told him, "You don't have to hurt anymore." So this is for you, Uncle Drew.